Hey. All right, hi, this is our new office. We have 3 workstations where we make all our videos. We have a Minea, currently working hard, making videos. And yeah, if you want to see more of this, we're probably gonna make at some point a more detailed office tour, but let's...
Welcome to a new video.
Welcome to a new video. Do you like my new background? I made it in Midjourney. It's a cool AI tool that you can use to create, well, basically anything you want. And it's really cool what you can do with AI these days. These
nuts! Ah! Got him!
Jag hade en riktigt bra filis för att börja med det här.
Käfta tala.
So, Martin Tungevaag, I'm gonna call him both Martin and Tungevaag in this video, just so you know it's gonna be interchangeable. Probably be able to this sentence. Tungevaag sent me a message on WhatsApp asking if I'm free a specific set of dates, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. I had no idea when he wanted, and now we're in India. So I packed all my gear, I got on a flight and made it to India. I'm not gonna go through everything that happened during this trip, you're gonna have to watch Martin's vlog for that. But I'm gonna focus more on the production side. So yeah, I got to India, we missed a few flights in New Delhi, made it to Kolkata, did some location scouting the first night, met up with Faustix, and then later that night I was doing my regular, testing everything works, rigging the camera, putting everything together, and realizing I forgot my focus rings. So yeah, that was a nice surprise. Traveled like a few thousand kilometers, realized you forgot your focus ring, you have the focus motor, the thumb controller, everything you need, you just can't attach it to lens because we're using stills lenses. So usually you use these rubber bands which you attach around, which has these 0.8 mod gear rings, and yeah, basically make you able to pull focus. And I didn't have them. Yeah, I was a happy guy at that point. Yeah, but actually I figured out that it was so hot that like the rings on the lenses, they got a bit softer than they normally are. I guess in 0-degree weather this wouldn't really work, but when it was 40 degrees Celsius, just push the motor towards the lens and it'll still work because everything is so soft when it's so warm. So yeah, dodged a bullet on that one. Focus rings, everything works, sort of at least. So I went to sleep, we got up at 6 a.m. Actually, we went down to the hotel lobby at 6 a.m. Then made our way to the first location. First location was a super crowded, busy, like if you know busy highways or busy streets, you don't know Indian busy streets. That's like a whole new level. There was honking everywhere. There was probably 5 lanes, but no lane markings. People just drove wherever they felt like it and then honked until they made their way to where they wanted to be, which makes super much sense if you come from a Nordic country. Yeah, so we made it there. Our first shoot was in the intersection, a guy dancing on a cab. Everything went quite well during that part of the shoot. It was just very intense. There was probably at some point around 30, 40, 50 people just looking at us, looking over his shoulder, what are we doing? I guess the guy with the big ass camera, white guy I might add, because there was no other white people there. It was also quite interesting. They took pictures of me.
They took pictures of me.
Yeah. We got all the shots we needed from that location. The traffic just got more and more busy, so at some point we're like, okay, we have to stop doing this. We had almost everything we needed, but there were some things that I would have maybe wanted to do a little bit better, but police were starting to talk to us, there were cars everywhere, and as I said, like traffic was just heating up. So we cut it off and moved on to the next one. After we're done in the Esplanade area, we went to lunch. And yeah, I didn't want to risk getting sick, so I didn't eat anything. I just drank like 5 bottles of water that day. Surprisingly, at the end of the day, I still wasn't dying. It was so hot, I guess my body wasn't using any energy. So moved over to the next location after eating, and it was basically a residential area at the other side of Kolkata. And over there too, it went quite well. It was quite interesting to see because we didn't have like a set plan for everything. This location too, we just found on the spot. After eating lunch, we just walked a few blocks in that area because we thought it looked cool. And then we decided together with Martin that this would work because we had the light come from quite a nice angle. And then for the very interesting part where we found this guy who had a basket of apples on his head. And we're like, hey, we want that guy in the video. So we told the guy, stand here and throw an apple at the guy with that was dancing. So yeah, he stood there, he had no problem with that. We just paid him, I guess, a few euros or something. And then he just threw him an apple. And then after we're done with that shot, he just continued on his day. Like, nothing more about that. And then another guy that was walking across the frame with his bike. We also just saw him and he had like a bunch of stuff on his bike and we thought it looked cool. So we're like, hey, that guy. And then trying to get all of that synced up, it took probably like half an hour to get everything just right. But once we did, it looked really good. And for the final part, that day we went over to the poop area. No, actually it was train tracks, but it was basically, yeah, it wasn't a great area. It was a lot of homeless people and yeah, it was quite, people living there had quite a rough life. So it wasn't that cool to see, and some of the areas there too, you could see like was their toilet. So there was basically human shit all over the ground. So that was interesting. People threw raw chicken at us. So yeah, basically we moved over from that area quite quickly. We didn't even shoot anything there, and I think after that we just called it a day and was like, okay, yep, we're done for the day. We're not shooting anything more. That was it for that day. Day 2. We started day 2 at a temple. It was a very traditional temple. It was so beautiful, but shooting with my camera in that temple, yeah, the security guards looked very pissed at us for A, being there, and B, just having a camera, and C, wearing shoes. So I took off my shoes. They were a little bit on their good side at that point. And then, yeah, I walked close. We basically had people walking up and down the steps, dancing on the steps. Normal things like this for a music video. But at some point I walked a little bit too close. There was a few steps first, then there was the main steps. So I walked, I guess, within 10 centimeters of the first few steps, and there was a security guard screaming at me. So yeah, I didn't do that again. I kept a little bit more distance, but in general it was, we were trying super hard to not, you know, disrespect them or anything. But of course we don't know all the like small rules they have and stuff like this, or big rules for that matter. Fortunately we had the local production with us and they could help us out with some things like this. But yeah, walking around with that camera, it's hard to like stop exactly at the right spot so you don't walk a few centimeters too close to the first step. Ended up working out quite well. We got some really good shots from there, and yeah, and that was probably the hottest part of the shoot because the sun was coming out at one point and it was, yeah, it was quite warm. We got everything we needed. We moved on to the second location where we shot part of the intro where the guy is dancing, and then part of the what was supposed to be last part of the music video shoot, but I think didn't even end up making it into the video, where they were both dancing in the same area. But yeah, it was basically a cool open field, a park with a memorial in the background and a big bridge overlooking it all. It was just a very cool area, very calm and very nice compared to what we had shot the previous day, which was chaotic. Still have nightmares about that place now. So it was a really nice area. We got everything we needed there too, and then we just moved on to the last part of the shoot, which was basically the first shot, I believe it is, in the music video, a pair of train tracks. The guy dancing on the train tracks, not much else to say about that. And after that, we were basically done. It was a really great shoot, a lot of very interesting impressions, and we had a lot of things we did outside the shoot too in India, but you're gonna have to watch Martin's vlog to see all those things. And we made it back to the hotel. I made it up to the hotel room, and yeah, I get a knock on the door. There's two people standing outside the door and a third guy at the other end of the hallway. So they were basically blocking the doorway, so I couldn't go anywhere, and asking like really politely, "Oh, we were told you have a drone." I was like, "Yeah, I have a drone in my bag," and they were like, "You can't have a drone in the hotel. I'm not gonna fly it inside. You can't have a drone in the hotel." So I gave them my drone. I could get it back at checkout, but it was just a very weird experience because the door windows weren't openable. Like, where am I gonna fly it? So, but yeah, I couldn't have a drone in the hotel. Then I got it back at checkout. Everything was fine. It was just, they were very strict once they figured out I have a drone. So that was the end of the shoot. And yeah, we had shot probably around 2 terabytes of footage because the V-Raptor eats up so much data. It was handling everything like a champ though. I had no struggles with overheating, even though I could basically, it felt like I could fry an egg on the monitor. but still no problems, everything worked as intended, and yeah, we're basically pushing out really cool frames all over these few days we were there. You could definitely feel the cultural differences. India is very, very different from Nordic countries. India is a really cool country. I really liked it there. It was very, very different from the Nordics, but it was a really cool experience, both shoot there and see the country in general. It was really nice. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you. Oh yeah, I've heard you're supposed to say like and subscribe. So yeah, do that too. And then thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.